Hello there everybody, this is me Ethan here and welcome back to another LEGO video. And in today's video I'll be trying to convince you that LEGO Harry Potter Series 2 of the collectible minifigures is better than the first. Now let's just start off and say both of these LEGO minifigure series are fantastic. They're really good. Speaking of fantastic, I will not be including the Fantastic Beasts minifigures since they are not from the Harry Potter series, so I'll just be comparing the Harry Potter minifigures. And one other thing, I know a lot of people have nostalgia for the first series. I do too, but today I'll be trying to convince you that Series 2 is so much better. So in this comparison of the two minifigure series, I will be using a point-based system, 1 point being mediocre, 3 being a good inclusion, and 5 being great. And in between, meaning 2 or 4, will just mean an in-between between mediocre and a good inclusion, and will be an in-between of good inclusion and great, if that makes sense. Taking a look first at the main three characters, the Trinity being Harry, Hermione, and Ron, the first series was decent for the time. They were based on their Prisoner of Azkaban attire. We got our first look at the mid-legs, which were really awesome. They came with their animals, which was pretty cool as well, but they're pretty much all the same torso and legs. I mean, they're just the Gryffindor robes. At the time, whenever this first released, I was really happy because we got Prisoner of Azkaban versions of Harry, Hermione, and Ron, but then the very next year, we got sets based off of the Prisoner of Azkaban. So then you look back at these minifigures and you're like, well, what's the point whenever you just made sets based off of these characters in the third movie after you just put them in a CMF series where you want unique figures? So overall, I'll give each of these figures a 1 for mediocre. They're good figs, but it's just a very mediocre choice later on down the line whenever you have sets based on the third movie. Now, taking a look at the Trinity from Harry Potter minifigures Series 2, you can see these are much older versions of Harry, Ron, and Hermione, obviously, although they are not wearing the same outfit. They're in their casual clothes from the scene in the Three Broomsticks from the Half-Blood Prince movie, which is really nice. As you can see, we've got some pretty good belt printing for all three of the characters, and side leg printing, and side shoe printing. So the printing has improved drastically. The accessories are much better than just the regular animals that we even got in the sets for that same year. You get the potions book with Harry, and you get Butterbeer for Hermione and Ron, which, yeah, they have the same accessory, but hey, the more the merrier, right? So I'll give these figures a 5 each for great, so that brings a total of 15 points so far for Series 2. So for the next category of minifigures that we'll be taking a look at, I'm just calling these adult/professor minifigures since there's not really one category that falls under all of these. So first we'll take a look at Professor Trelawney. This is a great inclusion for a minifigure, so I'm going to give it 5 points for great. It is a character we've never gotten before in LEGO form. We also got 2 updated and modernized LEGO Harry Potter minifigures. That includes Professor Phileas Flitwick and Professor Mad-Eye Moody, and I'm going to give these both 5 points out of 5 because I think they're literally perfect. And now taking a look at Series 2, we have Professor Sprout, and this is a near perfect update to the original minifigure, so I'll give her 5 points. Here we have the Auror Kingsley Shacklebolt, and this is a great brand new minifigure that we've never seen from the LEGO Harry Potter line. Get him in a CMF series is really great, so I will give him 5 points. Remember whenever I said I would categorize these minifigs as adults/professors? Well, these 2 minifigures are the reason. Here is Lily and James Potter, and I think these 2 are good inclusions since I don't think we'd ever get these really in sets, otherwise it would be an extremely dark scene. So I'll give these minifigures each 3 points. Next up here we have the small subcategory for Dumbledore. So for the first series, I'm going to give this minifigure 5 points for great. Just like that. I don't even have to talk about this minifigure to explain to you why it's great. It's based on the Michael Gambon appearance of him, which is based on the later films, and it just looks really accurate and the accessory makes sense. And then for Dumbledore from Series 2, this is based on the Richard Harris actor of Dumbledore based on the first 2 movies, and this minifigure looks really fantastic with all the dark red, and the printing just looks so good on the torso and dress piece, and that new hair and hat mold combined looks so good just like the other one from Series 1, and that Fox the Phoenix accessory makes sense just like the one before. So I'm going to give this minifig 5 points as well. So next up for our next category, we have Students of Hogwarts, and here we have Invisibility Cloak Harry, and this is a fantastic variant from the Sorcerer's Stone compared to the other one for the Prisoner of Azkaban, so I'll give him 5 points. Here we have Luna Lovegood, and this is actually a really good updated figure of the one that was in the older sets. I really like the Quibbler print and all, the new hairpiece is good, but my only complaint with it is similar to Harry, Ron, and Hermione from the Prisoner of Azkaban in the CMF series, is that we now have Luna Lovegood in official LEGO sets now in 2020, and she doesn't have mid-legs in those sets. She has the tall legs, and in the CMF series, she uses the mid-legs, which is way less accurate, so I'm going to give her 4 points. Here we have Neville Longbottom in his Herbology uniform. This is a really good variant of Neville Longbottom, and I really like the Mandrake accessory, so I will give him 5 points. Cho Chang is a good inclusion as we never got her in the older LEGO Harry Potter sets, although the skin tone is way too dark for her character, so I will give her 4 points. Dean Thomas is one of those side characters in the majority of the Harry Potter movies, so he's not that super interesting to get as a LEGO minifigure, but I think he is a good inclusion for 3 points. The last character that we will take a look at in the students category for series 1 is Cedric Diggory, and similar to many characters in this series, we literally ended up getting him in the next wave of sets in the next year for the Goblet of Fire wave, so yet again this figure feels kinda pointless once you actually have Goblet of Fire sets where he's included in, but the outfit is a little bit different, I'll give it that, and the Triwizard Cup, while not accurate, is still pretty cool. Taking a look at the students for series 2, we have Luna Lovegood once again, and she is wearing a lion headdress, which that piece looks really cool. She's also using tall legs, so it's more accurate to the movies that she appears in, and those legs have printing that continue onto the side, which is really great, and I love that detailing, so I will give her 5 points. Here we have by far the worst minifigure in this series. This is Neville Longbottom, and don't get me wrong, I love his character in the movies, but dang, they literally used this torso 3 times in the first series, and now they're using it again in series 2. The only thing saving this figure is the Monster Book of Monsters, so I'll give him 2 points. Ginny Weasley is definitely a minifigure that should have been in the Astronomy Tower set, but ended up in the CMF series. The printing that continues down onto the side of the legs is superb, and the green detailing that continues down onto the torso and legs, the new hairpiece, and the new cut piece are really great, so I'm going to have to give her 4 points. I'm going to be completely honest, at first I really didn't like the Fred and George Weasley minifigures because they were both practically the same figure, but then I realized they are twins and they are really awesome in the movies. These are really great variants of 2 very beloved characters, and I really love the dark tan, dark gray, and dark red printing on the torso. The new hat mold for both of them is great, the facial expressions are super well expressive, and the accessories look really good too. So I'll have to give both of them 5 points. And the final minifigure that we will take a look at in the students category for series 2 is Moaning Myrtle, and I think this is a really great inclusion. I'm giving her 5 points pretty easily. This is a figure that we've never gotten before in LEGO, and they use these blue colors to make her look like a ghost, similar to how they did it with Nearly Headless Nick in the Hogwarts Great Hall, and her accessory is Tom Riddle's diary, which is pretty cool. So overall, this is a really great figure that we've never gotten before. Now on to the next category. These are extras because I really didn't know what to call these group of figures. So first up, we'll take a look at Lord Voldemort from series 1. I think this is a great inclusion as a minifigure, so I'll give him 5 points. And the Nagini accessory is really nice, and it's a super cheap way to get the main villain from this series of movies. Here we have Dobby, and it's pretty easy to give him 5 points. He's an icon of the series, and I love that updated head mold that they use. I think it's a lot more accurate, and it looks better. I know that may be an unpopular opinion, but whenever LEGO upgrades a mold, I think that is definitely an improvement. And I really love his accessory with the broken Tom Riddle's diary from the Chamber of Secrets, and his sock that sets him free. Now looking at series 2, we have Bellatrix Lestrange in her Azkaban prison outfit, and the printing that continues down from the torso down to the skirt piece or the dress piece looks really good, and it just continues perfectly down, and the arm printing is great. The little Azkaban prison tile is awesome. That hairpiece that they've been using forever, even for the old Bellatrix, still looks great to this day, and that headpiece is so much better than the one that they used in the Burrow, so I'll have to give her 5 points. Now the final minifigure that we will take a look at is Griphook, and wow, this minifigure looks so good. The torso looks so detailed, same with the arms. I love the lines that continue down it. He comes with a key for his accessory and a brand new hairpiece which comes with his goblin ears, and the face is disgustingly creepy, which is really accurate to the movies. And the best part of this minifigure is the Sword of Gryffindor piece. That is such a good piece, and I love the molding on it. This figure is a pretty easy 5 points out of 5. So overall, using my point system, Series 1 ended up with 57 points total, and Series 2 ended up with 62 points total, resulting in a 5-point difference, making Series 2 better. Do you agree with my ranking of all of these figures? Do you agree with my point system? And do you think that Series 2 is 5 points better than Series 1? Let me know in the comments. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye and have a great day.